is episode 187. Welcome into the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. Yeah, I am Jesse Gutierrez.
Finally get to talk about it.
Yeah, of the San Francisco Giants, who should be on an 8-game winning streak, but had to settle for 7.
Oh, and I'm Dave on the side of the Dodgers, who just, took another series from the Padres, from the Little Brothers. And I'm sure we'll get into that. But Jesse, you lost to who?
Listen, mistakes were made. But I honestly don't understand. Like, literally, we won 7 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We won the series against the Rockies.
Okay.
Listen, I don't care how bad the Rockies are. You can't guarantee a sweep. I don't care who you are. So
it doesn't matter. The Rockies are like the bad news bears. So whoever loses to them on that day is gonna get clowned, even if you beat them 3 out of 4. It's just how it's gonna go.
The team the movie is about, they're gonna come back and I guess they didn't end up making the playoffs, the bad news bears, but
yeah, there's no comeback story in this one. But yeah, the Rockies, dude, come on.
I know.
That's hilarious.
It is. We were up 2 runs, and you have your guy in there. The best reliever in baseball is in a situation that you want him to be in. The issue is if you've never pitched at Coors before, I mean, the pitchers talk about it all the time. Their stuff doesn't break. Sliders hang. It's a huge reason why Sergio Romo had a hard time at Coors Field. It just control is a problem. It is what it is.
It didn't seem like it was a bad pitch. The one that he lost on didn't seem like it was a horrible pitch. It was just.
Well, he walked. I don't want to say the bases loaded because it was 2 walks, but gave up like I don't want to say a blooper. And then there was an error in there. It's the problem was the walks.
I didn't watch it. I assumed when I looked up the score, you guys were up like 7-2 or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, at one point we were up 7-2.
So I was like, oh, okay, great. This is over. Like,
I felt the same way.
Right. So, and then somebody, in the group chat put, I think the Rockies just walked it off. And I'm like, no way. And surely, yep, it happened. Hilarious.
It happened. But Dave, you're going out of order here, all right, to roast me. And it's pretty rude, all right?
It's just because I saw online a
ridiculous
discourse between Giant fans and Padres fans, and they were really worked up, right? And they were just trying to argue who was the little brother. So I was like, oh man, this is what the Giants losing caused. Now they're,
one
little
loss?
Brothers are fighting, and the Dodgers are just looking at them like, all right, guys, you can both be the little brothers.
Don't disrespect me like that, homeboy. Little brothers. I'm not the Padres or the Diamondbacks. Crazy.
Like, what have you done this century? Well, what have you done in the last whatever? What have you done ever? And then it doesn't matter because blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, these guys, this is hilarious. So
like that meme where they're beating up each other
that you guys lost,
smoking meth.
But yeah, way out of order. Let's get back to
unbelievable. Erroneous on all accounts.
We'll make fun of you later. Let's talk about around the league.
Yes, around the league. Dave has a problem with talking baseball. A feud is happening, I guess, apparently, where Dave just hates everything Trevor Plouffe says. He's angry about it.
No. First of all, I had a problem with talking baseball because they said talking baseball said that you guys were tied with us for first place yesterday. Which was not the case. You guys were a game behind.
In 3 days, we'll be tied for first place.
And then they deleted the tweet, and then you guys lost today. Would made it even funnier. You guys were a full game back, so that was the problem with that. Along with Trevor Plouffe. So he's against position players pitching, which is where do you stand on that? He can have his opinion. That's great. What do you think? You think it's okay? You think it's?
I think position players pitching is kind of a joke. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it because obviously if you're out of it and you want to save your pitching, I'm not saying it's a good move. It isn't a good move, but I think it's kind of embarrassing.
I guess Kike's ERA is 2.8, 2.08. All right.
Let him pitch in a regular
So
game then.
they did. He pitched in the sixth.
You guys are down like 9-0.
I think it was like 5-0 at the time, right?
Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse.
No. We couldn't have been 5-0. We have to be down at least 8 runs. So I think it was 8-0.
No, I think you have to be at least 5.
No. That's way too.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's.
I thought it was like 8 runs that you have to be.
Let's go to the Google machine, but continue, and then
either way,
fact check Jesse. We'll jump in on here.
Either way, Padres fan had a hissy fit, saying that they were making a mockery of the game and it was awful. I've never seen a winning team cry about the way they were winning. Like, somebody said, well, if I spend hard money to go see that, and then I end up seeing a softball game near the end of it for the last 4 innings, I'd be pissed. And I'd counter with, if the Dodgers are using a position player, that means you've pummeled them. That means you've already embarrassed them. So no, you'd be happy already. Like bringing in a reliever when it's 8-0, just so it doesn't make sense to me. It's the perfect strategy, and unless they're going to add another pitcher to the roster or do something to change the rules, I don't see a problem with it. Turn off the game. Turn off the game if you don't want to see it. You've already won. Your team already won. So what's the problem?
The problem. Well, first of all, fact check came in. It's actually 6 runs.
Okay, so they were down. They must have been down 6-0.
Yeah, at least. So I just feel like. So and that's the problem. There's no perfect answer. I do think it's embarrassing when a position player is pitching. I think it's kind of like, what are we doing here? This is kind of, I don't want to say making a mockery, because I feel like that's also old man yelling at the clouds, but it's also kind of like, let's just end this. Like, what are we doing here type deal? But at the same time, they're not going to throw away advertising dollars, number one. Number two, you paid for that game. You're not going to want to leave it. You want them to play the full game. So there's that. But at the same time, I think a position player pitching is I don't know. It was, I'll be honest with you, when it used to happen once a year on each team, I thought it was kind of funny. But now that it happens so much, I feel like it's like, I don't know, what are we doing here? Let's call it a day.
How competitive is a game going to be if you're up 10-0 and you're just bringing in normal relievers? Like what does it serve? What's the difference?
What is the actual difference? Major league players like pitching? You're not throwing
are you that invested in the game when you're already up 10-0 though?
Here's the thing. First of all, we just saw that the Rockies came back from 7-2. Like teams come back from like 7-8 runs. It's happened. Don't you think the best offense ever assembled in baseball could come back from an 8-run deficit?
It could happen, but also when you have the most depleted, the team leading in bullpen innings, and you have a chance to give them a day off with a bullpen game coming up, like it 100%. Makes a ton of sense.
100%.
And secondly, Trevor Plouffe hit a home run off the same guy he was criticizing when he was a Philly.
Well, yeah, you can't tell them.
When he was a Philly. He should have gone up there and said, hey, you know what? I'm totally against this. Let me lay down the bat. Let's go to the next inning. I don't like this. But he celebrated a walk-off win versus a position player.
Hold on.
He celebrated a win like
that's
it was
a reach.
No.
This is a reach right now. Because here's the thing.
So he
first of all, he's not the one who called in the bullpen and was like, hey, I need Kike to pitch this inning. The Dodgers did it, and it was a game.
The point still stands. He benefited it.
So that's insane.
Hey, he benefited from this, and now that he's on the other side, he's like, well, I don't want to watch that. Like, that's not cool. Like, it's kind of a mockery. But when you won a game because of it, it was fine.
I don't think it was fine. I think that you
so they should have just forfeited that win because they were making a mockery of the sport at the time then.
No, the Dodgers should have just folded. I don't know. I don't know the perfect answer. I'll be honest with you. Just because I don't have an answer doesn't mean that position players pitching is good. Like I said, I don't think there's a perfect solution that I can think of. I wish there was something different that we could figure out that that we could
I think
do
the
instead of
only
position
people that
players
should be
pitching. But at the
upset-
same time, when they're pitched, Kike's already pitched what 3 or 4 times this year.
Yeah.
Dude, we're 80 games in, not even 80 games in. This is wild.
Well, I think some of those they might have been way. I'm not sure, but either way, it just I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think the only people that should really be upset are the fans of the team that are losing. If you're getting blown out, they should be upset that they have to watch Kike. Instead, you have people on the other side being upset, the teams that are winning, and that's just backwards.
No, I don't get mad. I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't get mad if they do it because you have to do it. It's obvious. There's no better option. You have to do it. But I still am on the side of like this is kind of embarrassing. Like I'll be honest with you. If I was showing, a buddy of mine baseball for the like, hey, if I'm trying to convince him to watch baseball, and then we see this, I'm like, I'm putting my head in my hands. Like I'm all right. This is the end of the game. Let's just watch something else.
I don't know, dude. It's also fun. So, like, if you're trying to show somebody
That's what I'm
new,
saying. When it was like once a year, it's novelty.
They might like that. You said if you're showing they might like that. They might be, oh, that's fun. They do this. This happens, and they're like, oh, I might watch a game.
It'd be like, oh, this happens once a year. When it's like, yeah, it happens, once every other week. Then it's like, oh gosh, it's a little.
And what about what Crash thing is here? We should be more embarrassed about the Rockies, Marlins, and White Sox not being competitive. Also,
I think two things can be true at one time. I think that just because something else is worse doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have to be okay with things that aren't good, that aren't as bad as other things. Like I get what you're saying. I really do. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm like, hey man, I'm really hungry. And it's like, well, the starving kids in Africa. I still want to go get some Chipotle. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Well, because you have no heart, Jesse. You have no heart. and also, on the other side of this, like, there's a pandemic in MLB with injuries. We just saw right now Cole Reagans is out.
Right.
Senga just got hurt. I think that was a hamstring issue. That might be that's different. But there's so many pitchers getting hurt, and you're like, hey, you know what? This game is lost. We're down 11-0. But yeah, let's throw out those arms.
Relievers that get paid to relieve, I think, is a lot different than like making a starting pitcher throw 150 pitches or that
was another thing Padres fans were mad about. Matt Sauer pitching 111 or 10 pitches or whatever. And they're like, oh, they're going to ruin this kid's career or whatever. I'm like, no, they're not. If they're going to constantly throw him out there and make him do that, okay, but it's one start. And he himself knew, like, I'm up here to eat innings. However that looks, I'm up here to eat innings. That's my job.
I don't understand why we think that a pitcher's arm is going to fall off after 100 pitches. Like, I understand this is a total new school, old school thing where new school, they're throwing max out all the time. And I get it. But at the same time, I don't know, dude. Like, if a pitcher pitches an extra 10 pitches or 20 pitches, it's not going to kill him. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like buying into the whole, next start after, let's say, a pitcher throws 110 innings and the next start, he sucks. He would have done that at 8 if he threw 80 pitches at the start before. Like, I don't think there's a correlation there.
No, I think we've gotten to the point, like, we baby the hell out of pitchers.
Yeah.
And, like, no, they can't go more than 5 or they can't. I don't know who made the cap that 100 was the cap. Right. I don't know when that became a rule, like 100 pitches and you're done. Like,
right.
Well, they did that with Yamamoto. I think he pitched 115.
Who?
Yamamoto pitched recently 115. Nobody was up in arms about that.
Right. That's because he sucks. I think
you're gonna face him tomorrow, so okay.
I know that's probably don't clip that. Don't clip that. If he does suck, then I'm gonna clip it and put it on there. But other than that, don't clip that. I just feel like the reason why they started with the 5 innings, 100 pitches, don't do third time through the order. I thought it was a performance thing. Like, hey, most pitchers, when they go the third time through the order, which is around 100 pitches, then you can see that their stuff starts to dip. And, so we want to take him out because we want to win the game. And then it just became so normalized that it's like now you can't go over 100 pitches or else you're ruining the kid's career. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's like a rare.
These guys
thing.
aren't made of porcelain.
Yamamoto faced the Cardinals this past weekend, and was it this past weekend or whenever it was the series versus the Cardinals, and he faced them for a third time, and that's like it's unheard of lately.
Right?
It's only like pitchers like Scooble and pitchers that pitch long into the game that do that. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there's the exceptions to the rules. I mean, not everyone can be Logan Webb. I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
your own team doesn't like Logan Webb, dude. They never perform when he pitches. So that's fine, dude.
I know.
And he pitches tomorrow. So we'll see. One of us is going to eat our words, but we'll see tomorrow. We'll see how it happens.
Who's getting DFA'd first, Conforto or Rojas?
I mean, if I have to pick,
make the pick.
If I have to pick, it'd be Rojas. Conforto, they're not getting rid of him. I don't think either. I don't think they're getting rid of either. Once a backup shortstop, he's doing fine in the role.
I mean, that's technically that's not really the question. It's who should go. I'm sure in a trade, if the Dodgers want, which we're into trades. We had trades in the title last week, but we forgot and we didn't really talk about it. But we're for sure gonna do some trade ideas now, some early trade stuff. But you can always throw in Conforto, pay $10 million of his contract, and throw in a prospect just to get rid of him. For the roster spot. So they can always do stuff like that. So it's possible they do something like that,
and that's when we get to the trade deadline stuff, I'll talk about that. But yeah, I think that's one of the only places they can actually make an upgrade if they were to get a bat, which I don't know if they will, but the outfield would be probably the best spot for that.
Which is kind of funny. I feel like we're in desperate need of two completely different things. I guess we can kind of get into the weeks. Unless was there anything else around the league that we're missing?
Actually, I did want to share with you something, and I took a pic of this, and I want to the shortstop WAR leaders, and
okay, yeah, all right. You want to play that game? All right, you want to play that game? Okay, that's fine.
You love WAR. You love talking about WAR.
War's a great. Listen, WAR's a great stat. WAR is a great stat if it proves what I'm saying, but when it doesn't prove what I'm saying, then it's not even real. It's trash. No one even knows what it means. Fugazi.
I'm looking up and down this list, which is 10 players. I don't see. I mean, maybe I need glasses. I mean, I'm already wearing some, so maybe my prescription's wrong, but I don't see your guy. Where's Adames? I mean, I see Mookie there.
Adames is going to get there. That's my dude, and I believe in the guy. Well, let's do starting pitching war. Why don't we do starting pitching war, Dave?
My whole team is on the IL. What do you mean? You're gonna compare Matt Sauer to Logan Webb?
Here we go. You got Yamamoto.
It's like, let's compare third basemen who are active. Let's compare third basemen who are active right now, then, because Chapman's on the IL. So let's compare third basemen.
We could maybe do that. I don't, because of Max Muncy's slow start. Casey Smith might have him.
There's no way.
Out on WAR? It's a possibility. No Casey Smith's kind of racking up some WAR. And depending how bad Max Muncy's been, I don't know.
I mean, Max Muncy had a horrible first month. He had a bad start, but there's no way he's below Smith, is he?
Oh, well, I don't know. What's his WAR? I'll tell you Casey Smith's when you tell me Max Muncy's on the count of three.
We'll hit me with yours first.
No. Same time. Ready?
I haven't even looked it up.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
You got it? No. I want to hear yours. Okay, say it.
Do you have Muncy's?
Yes.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3, half.
Half what?
Half a WAR. 0.5.
So you got 0.5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Schmidt had been lighting up the world for a while or something, but yeah, it's 1.7.
Ah, okay.
Muncie. I mean, come on. I know he had a horrible
I
start.
thought he might have been closer to the negatives because he had a bad start to the year, so I wasn't.
He had a really bad start, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay. Well, all right. Whatever. Well,
but all right, let's get to the weeks, man.
Let's see what Matt Chapman's WAR numbers are. All right. Yeah, 2.9.
Yeah, he's been pretty awesome for you guys. There's no denying that.
He's the GOAT at defense. So when we talked last time, we were like, hey, the changeup happened. Dom Smith is the man. And he's going to bring us to the promised land by just not striking out all the time like Lamont Wade was doing. And it's pretty much true. I mean, I want to discount the Coors numbers because obviously, I mean, they scored 10, 7, and 6. Like, that's not who they are. It's Coors Field. But
yeah,
it's not
I saw you tweet out saying this was Dom's moment. In Coors Field. Have some shame.
Well, first of all, I said a big Dom Smith moment. I don't know if you know this, but this is a reference to when he was on the Red Sox and the admin tweeted something really dumb and deleted the tweet. Said BDSM, a big Dom Smith moment.
That's crazy. No, I had not seen that. But either way,
that was. But it was a big moment. It made it from at that point a giant lead. It broke the game open. Too bad that it didn't end up lasting, but it was still a big moment.
The bot doesn't lie. Like, you just shouldn't have tweeted that because you lost. So now, the big moment was in a loss. So whatever, but I try to save you from yourself.
And I'll be honest with you, Ernie's tweet, that remark fell about like 50 yards away from me, so I didn't get it about the mom dying thing. And I was like, I don't get the joke, so I'm just going to not reply to it.
I didn't get it. And I'd love for him to, if he's watching, to explain it.
Explain it, because I don't know what he means by that. I was like,
I don't know.
I don't want to reply
because I don't get it. And then what if it's simple and it went over my
head? And then what if I'm dumb? Well,
what if it's me?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll leave it alone.
This is my point. When they were on their scud where they weren't, they had the best ERA in baseball and still were a game under 500. They're scoring 2, 0, 1, a 4, then a 0, a 2, and then this isn't a giant jump here. Now when they're winning games, they're going 6, 3, 5, 3, 4. So all we needed was, what did I say last week? I said they don't need to be, the offense doesn't need to be like great. It just needs to not be the worst offense in baseball. It needs to be mediocre. Like, it needs to be okay. They need to improve just a little bit, and they'll win games. And then what happened? Swept the Braves. Should have swept the Rockies too. Let's not even go there. But then they won those last two against. Well,
that's what happens when you
Padres.
It's giving you, it's either giving you really false hope because you played two really bad teams, and then you're going to face the Dodgers. So we'll see if, obviously you're going to have your best starters go. I already saw the schedule, but
so who's the bad team?
The Rockies. You just played the Rockies.
That's one team. What about
the
Padres?
Braves have not been good.
Okay, but at the same time, they're a talented team. They could easily sweep you.
But that's just not been them this year. Like, we just have to be honest.
I understand.
They just haven't been. Like, if you did this versus the Padres when you lost freaking 2 out of 3 or whatever it was, and at their place or whatever it was, did you get swept in Petco, or did you guys take one of those?
I think we got swept in Petco.
Okay, so if you've done something in that series, I would have, okay, you split at home versus them, all right,
yeah,
but you can't. It's Braves and it's the Rockies. Like,
we're talking about months ago. I'm talking about right now. All right, you can't go 3 months ago to prove your point.
I'm just saying those are the recent people you played. Like, I don't know. We'll see how real you are when we start playing tomorrow.
It sounds like a lot of excuses that you're making right now for the Giants just being good. I'm just saying that,
or maybe I'm just hating because it's the Giants.
You are. That is very true. But what I'm saying is they just, Lamont Wade was not only just striking out, he was getting into double plays at the worst time. Like, he was literally like negative Like there was no positive in him in the box. So with Dom Smith, besides the home run today, he only had one extra base hit. He's just putting the bat on the ball. Sack flies, little bloopers here and there, has jump started the offense to where they're just not terrible, and the Giants could actually win games because their pitching is so good.
Listen, it's Dom Smith. Like, you got rid of Late Night in Lamont and then polished the turd in Dom Smith and said, "Oh my God, now we're good."
Oh shit. Okay,
it's a guy that was just DFA'd. Like, he's not or
he
whatever
wasn't
he was.
DFA'd.
Was he out of the wild?
In the Yankees lineup, one of the best lineups in baseball. So then he opted out of his minor league contract and then chose to sign with the Giants.
So he was in the minors. And so
killing it in the minors.
This guy's not here to save the offense.
Oh, he's going to save the offense.
I'm pleading you to realize it's the Rockies. Austin Barnes could look like Barry Bonds versus the Rockies.
I know. So, I get that, but
I just think I need you to hold your horses a little bit. And if he does that versus the Dodgers, if he does this versus the Dodgers, then I'm like, all right, maybe you got something here.
Yeah. Suck on that, Dave.
This guy and Ben Verlander, always reminding us that the Giants are good. Whatever.
Giants are good.
They will fade. And we will never talk about them
that,
again.
but now we're getting to the middle of June.
When I see you play good teams, you guys are not the same team.
We're breathing down your neck.
But when I see you play good teams, you're not the same team.
Says who?
Says me and my hate.
We have like one of the best records against teams over 500.
I don't see that.
I don't see it.
I turn a blind eye to that. I don't
see lists that discredit.
I mean, those are numbers. They mean nothing to me.
All right, R. Kelly, age ain't nothing but a number. Yeah. So that's basically what's happened in Giants land. Is the offense is a little bit better, so they're winning games. Willie Adames, yes, it was at Coors Field, but we're going to overlook that, and we're just going to say his day off, his mandated day off next to the off day jump started it, and he is back, baby. 2 home runs this series. Had a pretty big error today, but we don't have to really talk about that. But Willie Adames. Another one, yeah. Willie Adames is back. So I don't know, man. I'll be honest, it really sucked that Matt Chapman started, because he's a streaky guy. His numbers always look good at the end of the year, but he's very hot and cold. And he really started getting hot right before going to the Dodgers series where we really needed him. But Dom Smith is hot.
The Dodgers. It's clear as day.
Ducking him. Then the whole Dodgers pitcher staff is ducking the Giants because they're on the IL.
Sure, but they've been injured long before they got to the series. Chapman's like, who's on the schedule? Oh, something hurts. I can't play.
It's called being prepared. No. Think about it.
Well, let's talk about the Dodgers week, because it ended up pretty juicy at the end. They lost 2 to the Cardinals because the offense was horrible. They've been so streaky too. They've been one of the best teams with runners in scoring position, but over the weekend in St. Louis, just horrible. Losing 5-0, losing 2-1, and then eventually finally, getting a winning on a Kershaw start, 7-3.
Got your ass kicked by the Cardinals?
Man, that place is a house of horrors, dude. At least for me. I remember all those years when they played the Cardinals in the playoffs. It was horrible. And then seeing Kershaw pitch there, it just brings back so much PTSD.
Right.
Matt Adams with that home run in the 7th, and it's always the 7th for Kersh, or it used to be.
How do you feel about the whole them playing that debacle, that highlight?
I think it was a nothing burger. I know Kershaw felt a certain way, probably because he lived through it and all that. But I think it was a nothing burger. I feel like the Dodgers play the the World Series stuff a lot, and obviously they're the reigning champions; they get to do that. But I don't think it's as bad as it was with the Padres. The Padres literally made a meme of him. This is just a highlight,
Right?
And you're playing
100%.
So
Right.
I understand why they're trolling him that way. He may not like it. He may think it's Bush League, but I understand it more than I understand them creating a brand new meme, making him cry and all that. That's where I'm like, all right, that's different. So, yeah, I thought it was a nothing burger.
Okay. All right. Don't have Kershaw's back. That's crazy, but continue.
Whatever. Anyways, that led to the Padres series. And suddenly in the first game, I guess the Dodgers bat just woke up. They faced Nick Pivetta, and they were, Andy Pages got the go-ahead run in the 10th. So, and they added one after that with Tommy Edman, and they won 8-7. So that was awesome. They got to shut the fans up for one day. Which, then the next game where they lose, they get pummeled, they get destroyed. Everybody's talking. Even though the Padres won, everybody's still talking about the Dodgers and how they're ruining the sport because Kike pitched. And then you had yesterday. Yeah. Had Vasquez versus Ben Casparius. And Ben Casparius has come out of nowhere, dude. Like, I don't think anybody – I may be wrong, but before this year, he was like, oh, they're calling Ben Casparius to come and, eat a couple innings, and then he's another young guy. I think everybody was more excited about the Sheehan's, about – the other guys, and this guy flew under the radar, and he's been awesome. He was awesome in the playoffs. He's been awesome as a reliever, and now they're asking him to start again, and he's awesome in that role too. So, I mean, he may be a dark horse for the Rookie of the Year. I don't know how tough that field's going to be, but I think his name is in there, at least for now, if he can keep this up, because I think his next start's going to be an actual start. So, I think they're stretching him out. And the Dodgers won that series 5-2. Thanks to a big Teoscar home run. Finally waking up. He had been like 1 for 20 something with the runners in scoring. I mean, he had been bad. So hopefully that wakes up his bat just in time for the Giants series. And little brothers got shut up, which is always fun.
Yeah, there are the most. Gosh, I always forget how annoying their fan base is. Like, it is bad.
Yeah.
So annoyingly bad how annoying they are. And it's like they're talking about us losing to the Rockies. Like, they're doing victory laps for us losing one game to the Rockies. When it's like,
when historically the Rockies own them. Like, in the last couple of years, historically, the Rockies own them.
Right. And you're still a game behind us now. So what like, I don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. And we got to deal with them starting Monday. And I mean, I will say there's obviously good eggs in every fan base. So there's some good eggs on that side that I talk to. I think I would consider maybe friends, but the most of them are just annoying. And even it goes all the way to like their media, Some of them are like, oh, we don't care what you say. You think I care? Like, you think I care what you guys are talking about? I'm like, I mean, if you're talking about it and say you don't care, then yes, I do think you care. Like, you don't talk about something you don't care about. You just don't bring it up. You ignore it. He's not wrong.
A stretch. That might be a stretch.
I don't think he's wrong. Obviously, he just had one start with like 4 innings. But if he can keep it up, the stuff is there, man.
Right. I don't know why I thought he was saying like from now. 80, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that's how it was from now on. So, yes. But I guess that's it for Dodgers, right? We can stop talking about their week. That's pretty much it. I think it's about, well, actually, that's not it. I'm a liar. We haven't done our favorite segment. What's going on with Blake Trinan? Blake Trinan watch.
You know what? Let's not talk about Blake Trinan. Instead, since we have a Yamamoto start tomorrow, down. We don't know when he's coming back, and that's just.
Does a what start?
A Yamamoto.
1, 2, 3. Yamamoto Yoshinobu no monomane shiteru Moshinobu.
Trash. Before we get,
dare
we're gonna
you.
do the preview. We're gonna do the preview. We got to do it, but I think we have to really cap off this week, and I think the only way to do that is to do everyone's favorite segment. But before we do everyone's favorite segment, while you're here hanging out watching, we thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and spending this time with us. But if you could just please hit the subscribe, hit the like, make the algorithm love us, and then we get to huge big stars, and then we could just, I don't know, quit our jobs and hang by poolside all the time. I don't know.
Talk baseball all the time,
real time. Yes, please. Thank you so much. And let's do some Suds and Duds. Bam, bam. Studs and Duds. I'm going to go dud first, and I am going to go first because, I don't know, I'm talking, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go to my man, Tyler Fitzgerald. Everyone's numbers are extremely inflated because they had we just played the Colorado Rockies in Coors. The only guy who didn't do good, my man, Tyler Fitzgerald. The week hitting 118 with a 368 OPS at Coors. So I think there's a legit worry and a legit argument you can make that Casey Schmidt should maybe take over at second when Matt Chapman comes back, because it looks like he's better. So Tyler Fitzgerald's really gonna have to turn it up. He's really gonna have to get back to form if he wants to keep that second base spot, because last year can only give you so long of a leash. So Casey Schmidt might be taking his job. So Tyler Fitzgerald, dud of the week. Just come back and be better, and then we don't have to worry about it. Everything will be good. Hit a couple home runs. Hit one off of Yamamoto and Kershaw, and then we don't have to talk about this anymore. You can be the stud. It'll be a great time.
All right. Well, that's not happening, but all right.
It could happen.
So I was going to give my dud to the offense as a whole before this last couple of games, because it was pretty bad in St. Louis. It was just non-existent with runners in scoring position. It was bad. I could have gone Michael Conforto. I could have gone Teoscar, but then they both had moments, so can't go there. So I'm just going to say offense as a whole, because they've been kind of inconsistent. And I know it's unfair to say like you need to score 5 or more every game because our pitching sucks, because it's not going to happen. Even if you assemble the best offense in the world, doesn't mean they're going to score all the time. So just need them to improve, especially this weekend versus the Giants. So let's get going.
Possibly. Man, there's a lot of studs this week. A lot of studs because we played at Coors Field. So one guy that I think I'm going to highlight, I wanted to highlight Matt Chapman because he was getting going. But you can't give it to him. He's going to be out on the IL for a couple weeks and, miss the whole series. So I got to give it to Jung-Hoo Lee. Once he gets to form, I think the offense is way better when he gets going. I could easily have given this to Heliot Ramos. I could have given this to Wilmer Flores. I could have given this to Mike Yastrzemski, believe it or not, which we'll talk about maybe replacing him later. But Jung-Hoo Lee, really good defense. And it's crazy, absolutely insane that they're going to post the WAR leaders for center fielders and put Andy Pages in the category for center fielders. When's the last time he played center field?
Yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that.
Wow. Show his defensive numbers. All right, they're trash.
He has the best arm in the league, dude.
Yeah, so he's good for being a right fielder, not a center fielder. Jung-Hoo Lee covers ground, baby.
Unfortunately, we don't have a center fielder that's better than him right now. So, and that leads me into my studs of the week. Or are you done with yours with praising Jung-Hoo Lee?
No, because I forgot the most important part. Jung-Hoo. Boom.
Trash.
So Jung Hoo Lee. That's the I just wanted to make sure to play the song. But yeah, I'm pretty much done. But yeah, I think Jung Hoo Lee's a big part of this offense, and when he gets going, I think we have a legitimate shot taking over the NL West. So I said it.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, the Justin Robleskis, all the B teams keep pitching, and you guys have a legitimate shot. But
I like
if
that.
they don't,
It's
Which,
called
anyways-
it's called having depth. If you have no depth, just say that. That's fine.
I mean, we're in first place, so we got to have some depth.
I know, but it's slipping. You're only one game. We're breathing down your neck right now.
I mean, I wish I played the Rockies and the Braves too, but it is
You
what it
do
is.
play the Rockies and the Braves. You guys have played the Rockies.
I wish I had
twice.
just played them.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, my
Trash.
studs. I was gonna give it to one specific player, but I'll give it to three because they each had a good series and finally got out of their slump. Michael Conforto with a home run to left field. Teoscar with a huge home run to finally hopefully break him out of his slump. And Andy Pajes, man, he had a big hit in the 10th inning in the first game, and he had a great defensive play just yesterday. Threw a 99 miles an hour missile to home plate and nabbed Gavin Sheets. So, I mean, it's crazy to say because at the beginning of the year, everybody wanted him to either go back to AAA or move to left field, and now it's like he's our best center fielder. Like if he's not out there, you're like, oh man, what's gonna happen? Because he needs to be out there every day. So
What happened to Tommy Tanks? What he sucks now or what?
no, but he's still dealing with this ankle thing, and I don't know how long that's gonna last. So they've been trying to play him more at second base and trying to ease him back in there. So, yeah, Andy Pajes, man, hopefully he's an all-star this year. I mean, I would have never thought that was a possibility at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Maybe he would have a decent year, but I think he has a really good shot to make the all-star game. I mean, I don't know if he's going to beat out PCA because that guy's having a monster year, but
right.
But maybe he makes it as a backup or something. I mean, I think he's deserving so far. But yeah, those are my studs of the week.
Studs, the duds. That's how we do it. Man, covered a lot here. And I feel like maybe we should do trade ideas and then we'll do this coming up week's preview. That way we can just end it from there. So trade ideas. This is way too early trade predictions. Let's hit it.
The way too early trade predictions.
Yeah.
All right.
I felt like that was you. Was that you on the mic? You
no, it
smiling
sounds
over
like
there?
me. It sounds like
you
me.
a little bit.
Dave
you
MC,
were like,
but no,
oh,
it's not. When I
Mom,
heard it
get it.
now loud, I'm like, wait, that kind of sounds like me.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I'll let you go first. We're just gonna pick a couple players way too early, but it's still. I think we're both at the point. I mean, you guys are obviously always trading for people, so that's not necessarily a shocker. But I think it's pretty safe to say the Giants are going to be at least in buyer mode unless they completely nosedive. So I have full confidence that Buster Posey is going to try to get somebody. But like I said, let's go with you first. Let's do a couple and see who you got your eye on. Let's see if we get some early wins here.
All right. So the first one is offense, right? And I don't know if it'll happen, but the only place that they could probably upgrade is the outfield, I think. I think Muncy's set at third, shortstop with Mookie, you're set. Second baseman with Edman and Kim. I don't think you need anything there. Freddie's got that locked, and Will Smith is, it's Will Smith. So, but in the outfield, Conforto, maybe he starts to get going and maybe, the need goes away, but he hasn't really been all that great this year,
Right.
to put it lightly. And I think there's been a trade out there for a while. They even talked about it earlier this year, saying that the White Sox had interest in, I forgot who it was from the Dodgers, but if you can get Luis Robert, you put him in center field, you move Pajes to right, and you move Teo to the left, and all of a sudden you got a pretty solid defensive team. You can hide Teoscar a little bit better in left than you can in right. So I don't think it's going to happen, but I think if you're able to work something out with the White Sox, I think that's the best route to upgrade the lineup and to not really move anybody else around. And I think it gives you power, it gives you speed, it gives you a better defensive, outfield. So I don't know what it would look like that we would have to give up, but Dodgers have plenty of pitching that they could trade in the minors. So I think that's a pretty easy matchup there. Like they can match up pretty well if they wanted to. But yeah, I think that's the only place that they would naturally upgrade. It'd be the outfield. Anywhere else, I don't see it. It wouldn't be an everyday player.
Right. Yeah. Which is, I don't know. I just feel like Luis Robert, you're gonna have to, because his stock is so low right now. I think you would have to pretty much, everyone's like, oh, let's give him a shot. And like, you probably don't have to buy, give up a whole lot to get him, but it's like, I don't think the White Sox are going to undersell for him. I think they're going to be like, we'll just keep him for a couple more years, and hopefully he has a good year in the next couple of years and we can trade him then when his stock is high. I don't think they're looking to get rid of him.
I don't think so either. But there are teams that need outfielders. And so maybe they get a bidding war for him, and maybe ultimately they're like, all right, we'll trade him. Maybe not the Dodgers, but he could be moved. I mean, right. I could see it happening with multiple teams needing outfielders.
No, you're not 100% right. So, Giants need a bat. They need a thumper. They need someone in the heart of this lineup that's going to hit it over the wall in the gaps. And I'm not sure this could happen just because it's in division. But gosh, the Diamondbacks seems like they're not turning the corner at all.
And I thought you were going to say Shohei Ohtani. I thought you were going to say,
hey, you want to just give Shohei? I'll take him.
Just give me everybody on your roster, and we'll give you Shohei.
Shohei. I don't think that they're going to want to help us, but the Diamondbacks have been known to kind of sell off a little bit. So, man, if you can get Josh Naylor at first base and in that lineup, or even some DH at bats, I think that can give a major boost to your lineup. I mean, he's hitting 300, 825 OPS, not a crazy amount of home runs with 8. But if the OPS is at 825, he's got some doubles in that bat. So, yeah, I think that would, there's no Giants pitching that we're going to get. I don't think we need it. I mean, yeah, that would be great if Zach Gallen's a free agent. Yeah, it'd be great if we got, but I just don't, I would rather them get 2 bats than get any pitching, because Logan Webb and Robbie Ray right now are probably one of the best 1-2 punches in baseball. So
you can never have too much pitching though, but I get what you're saying. That makes sense. I mean, Luis Robert would also make sense for you guys.
Yes, 100%. But I would be okay with giving up some young starting pitching for someone valuable for a lot of control. But because we have so much. I mean, Carson Wisenhunt's killing it in AAA. I mean, you got Landon Roop, Kyle Harrison, and Hayden Birdsong doing very well, and Verlander's supposed to come back in a week. So,
who was your young outfielder? His name was Grant or something like that.
Grant McCray.
Yeah, what happened with him?
He's doing really good in AAA right now. The only he's actually really hot, and people are kind of clamoring for him to come up and take Yaz's position, which is definitely a possibility because he's a really good outfielder and has a lot of power in the bat. But the problem is, and probably will always be, so much swing and miss that he needs to learn how to cut that down. So I think that's what they're really hammering on, is cutting down on a swing and miss. And they would, it'd be great if he could do that, because then he could be a solid contributor. So, all
right. Well, let me give you my last way too early prediction for a trade, and it's a bullpen piece, which I don't know if it'll happen. I think if Friedman makes a trade, it'll probably be for a lesser known reliever. He's already said it multiple times. The prices are astronomical when dealing with the deadline. So
right,
but. There's a guy in DC who I'd like for them to get, Kyle Finnegan. And you know, you've lost Evan Phillips. You don't know if Blake Trinan's coming back. The hope is maybe he does, but you know, who knows? He was so overworked in the postseason. It worked, but now you know you're dealing with the injury, so you could use another guy. You know, I know Tanner Scott's he looks back to form now. You got Kirby Yates, Kopak, and then after that, and Vessia, and after that, you know, it's a bunch of other on the lower end tier kind of guys. So,
right.
Kyle Finnegan would fit in perfectly. He's closed before, which I don't think he'd be in here to close, but you can use him if you wanted to. He can pitch the 7th, he can pitch the 8th. Like, you know, another weapon for Roberts at his disposal. I think it's awesome. He did an amazing job managing the bullpen last year. And I kind of think he's cracked the code on how to use his bullpen, at least the guys that he has. There was a time before where you're like, why is this guy out here or whatever it is? But I feel now we're more confident in his choices and who he brings in. So, yeah, man, give him another weapon, help that pin who's been overworked. And, yeah, I mean, I could see that, but who knows? Who knows if we'd have to overpay, but that'd be an awesome move.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to worry about that best bullpen in baseball, but which is crazy to say because we just
not today.
Not today. Corsfield's a different monster. All right, so chill. All right, man, I'm really stuck, right? Because I look at Taylor Ward and I'm like, because he's got 18 home runs on the year so far, but the guy's hitting 200, so he's striking out a lot. Oh, it's still a lot though, because the places you can upgrade is going to be obviously you do first base. You could probably do second base and let Tyler Fitzgerald just be a super utility guy, or you could do right field and let Yaz be a fourth outfielder for defensive replacement or whatever. So I'm thinking of. I'm not going to go Taylor Ward. I'm not even going to go who I was originally thinking with Rhys Hoskins because the Brewers are kind of coming back up. I'm going to go somewhere that it doesn't matter if this team wins 100 games. They're always looking to do a trade for pitchers in A-ball, and that is the Tampa Bay Rays. And I'm just deciding, should I do Yandy Diaz? Should I do Brandon Lowe? Maybe do them both. Give him a good starting pitcher with control. Maybe even give him Tyler Fitzgerald. I'm not sure exactly what you'd have to give up, but I think Brandon Lowe and Yandy Diaz, their contracts are up. If not this year, I think Yandy Diaz is a free agent next year, but I think Brandon Lowe might have one more year of control on him. So I think you make a trade with the Rays for one of those dudes. I think they both have pop in the bat. Yandy Diaz seems to be having a better year than last year. Kind of is rebounding. So, gosh, you just need to get a little better offensively.
Those are really awesome picks, dude. I gotta
thank
say,
you.
Like, yeah, Yandy Diaz pretty much fits in every team, right? Like he
yeah.
And Lowe, who doesn't want a second baseman with pop? Like those are really. I don't know if Tampa does it, but you're right. They're always looking to trade in them.
They're always looking to trade, dude.
Especially at the end of somebody's contract, they're like, "How do we get the most out of this?"
It's like that thing. How do we? Let's fucking bet on this. I mean, they always do it.
I could see a Yandy Diaz, but again, just like I can see him on your team, I can see him like on 29 other teams. He fits almost
100%.
So
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, good picks. We'll see. We'll probably come back to this and see. I think yours has more of a chance to be right than mine.
Oh, okay, I like that.
I don't see Robert getting moved, and if he does, it'd probably be to some other team. So who knows?
Right.
But yeah, we'll see.
I also wanted to do my my check-in on Bryce Eldridge and like, oh, what if he just gets hot and then he comes up? He's struggling a little bit in AAA right now. He did get his promotion, the big promotion. He was dominating in AA. He is in AAA right now, and he's hitting 120.
Ooh.
So rough. Not. I mean, he first came up and had a couple of. Seems like he was getting a hit every night, and hit a really big home run, and everything looked like it was going good. But I haven't checked in about a week, and it looks like in that week he's hit nothing right now. So what's it called? Yeah. So Bryce Eldridge might not be this year. Maybe all of a sudden it gets hot and they don't trade for a first baseman and Bryce Eldridge is the guy, but it's looking like we might be talking Bryce Eldridge talk next year.
All right.
So
well,
we'll see.
Before we get out of here, dude, let's preview this series between the Dodgers and the Giants. Finally,
my language.
Finally, this rivalry gets to be talked about. Finally, they're both doing well, or at least playing well at the moment, and they meet up. Battle for first place. Way too early, but battle for first place.
First place. We find out this week.
Yeah, first game is probably the juiciest matchup. It's Logan Webb versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And that's
wait, Logan Webb versus who?
Yoshinobu.
1, 2, 3 Yamamoto Yoshinobu no monomane shiteru Moshinobu 1, 2
Trash.
Damn you. But yeah, that's probably the juiciest matchup. What do you expect out of the first game?
Yeah,
I mean, runs.
It seems like Logan Webb has multiple. I mean, has had a lot of different starts against the Dodgers. So he could go 8 innings, 1-run ball, and strikes out a bunch of dudes, or he could be 3 innings, 6 earned runs, and that's happened multiple times. So, and I don't think the Giants have necessarily like knocked Yamamoto out the game. I think we've given him a loss, but it was like
close loss or something.
Yeah, like it was still like we got like 3 runs off of him or 2 runs off of him. You know what I mean? And it just lasted. So
one thing's for certain though.
What's that?
Mookie Betts will get a hit off of Logan.
Get a hit off Logan Webb. That's guaranteed. Let's just hope we can keep it to singles. Or listen, he can hit a home run off him just as long as we have like a 5-run lead or whatever. That's fine. I'll accept that.
I will not. That should not be the case versus this offense, but we'll see.
Sneaky interesting game 2. Landon Roop, who's been on fire, getting a really big test in that Dodgers lineup versus the Kershaw, who have historically owned the Giants, but he's not the same Kershaw anymore. So,
but he is coming off his best start. He's looked pretty bad before that.
Right. So maybe the Dodgers just play that Matt Adams highlight at Dodger Stadium so he gets mad and does the same thing.
Yeah, maybe he needs to, how people have songs to hype them up. Maybe he needs to see that clip and then he's like, you know what, let's go. I'm mad. I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
So, hey, you're lucky he's not hitting because he does own you. He does have a home run off of you guys as well.
That's true.
So, all right.
That's true. Off of George Contos. Fun fact. Yep. And then we got Kyle Harrison.
Justin May
versus Sideshow Bob. So let's see. So
and that's an ESPN game, right?
Is that the ESPN game? That is the ESPN
Yeah, which
game.
is funny. It's probably like the worst
Father's Day,
worst matchup, and that's the one on ESPN.
Right. So one of us is going to be a sad father. The other is going to be a happy father.
I'll still be happy. I mean, that I just know that we're going to have to see Miguel Rojas play that game because it's a lefty.
Right.
And so that I hope we've won the first 2 games because I don't know how that one would go.
Right.
But,
well, my whole life is riding on this Sunday game specifically. So if we lose, I am angry and depressed.
Why? Why is that?
I'm just
I'm like, wait, what? What's going on?
I'm just joking. He's like, what is going on with you? You need someone to talk to? Yeah, but yeah, man. It's always really exciting. These games are always really, and this is the Farhan era. The Dodgers just pecker slept the Giants. Like especially the last couple of years, it has been so bad that I would have felt okay saying this if we swept today, but we didn't. Now I'm a little worried, but I feel like the Dodgers, maybe not because Kershaw's not the same guy. So I want to say the Dodgers are set up to win the series just based off the pitching matchups because, Logan Webb could go either way. But then again, I feel like game 2 could go either way. And then same thing with I think this is pretty evenly matched. We're looking at starting pitching. It's just obviously the lineups are pretty skewed. You guys get to escape Robbie Ray and not see him. You get to escape Hayden Birdsong and not see him. So that sucks for us. But
and sometimes records don't even matter when it's rivalry games or a series.
Right.
Sometimes teams will play out of their norm and just either beat up the other team or just lay down, whatever it is. I don't
because it's our World Series, as Mookie Betts says. So we're excited.
Well, it is because that's why I brought Grant McCray or whatever up. I remember his little quote, which was, "Oh yeah, they bought everybody, but they're gonna have a hard time with me, Lee, and some other outfielder and
getting hits in the outfield."
Dude's not even up here yet, so
not the greatest of quotes. I'll give that
keeping
to you.
I'm keeping an eye on that guy.
You can't really be saying that when you're in AAA, but he is a very good outfielder. Let's not be mistaken. He is that guy in the outfield. But
all right,
very strange thing to say.
So prediction then. What's your prediction at the end of this series?
You know what? I'm going to go prediction because I want to believe in myself, like it's the Disney Channel original movie, that we are going to win the series. I think we win game 1 and game 2 and lose game 3. That's where I'm going.
I mean, stranger things have happened. You guys could win a game, and that'd be interesting. But I think the Dodgers should win 2 out of 3. I do think Logan Webb, if they're able to beat Logan Webb, their best pitcher, then they're winning the series.
Oh, I mean, yes. If they win game 1, I would
the last 2, but I don't know.
I would say that. Yeah, I'm not sure they could sweep, but it's very possible. The good thing is, if you look from last year to this year, the Giants were so bad against the Dodgers. I'm sure if they lost every series and then did like a split on the 4-gamer that we have between us, I think we would have a better record than we did last year. So, cheers to that.
Yeah.
And so
good for you. Are we betting anything this time around? Or are we doing that the next series? I feel like we
should. You know what? I feel like what you should do if you lose, if the Dodgers lose, that you got to post the song and say how this is your favorite song at the moment. And you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about the Lee song?
We get it done, strikes and home runs. You feel the ground shaking, the Giants gonna come. You ever took a trip to the Bay? It's nothing like it. You ever see the Giants play? It's nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Went out the field, it's nothing like it.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'll post that. I'll say I like that, and I will find a song. I don't have it with me at the moment, obviously, but I'll find something.
Give me the Dodger Girl song, and I'll say how much I love that
one.
Dodger
Girls. That's more of a jab than anything. So it's not equal. I'll find something.
You'll find something for me to post, yeah, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
And then you owe me like I don't know $700. That too.
Yeah, just a small tap.
Whether I win or lose, you just owe me money. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out with us. Make sure to subscribe to us and follow us on your favorite podcast platform as well as YouTube. Socials, Twitter, Benches Clear P, Instagram, Benches Clear Podcast, and TikTok, Benches Cleared. We're gonna see you next week. If not anything else, right, Dave? Anything you got? You got anything?
F the Giants, always and forever, and let's hope that that we sweep. That'll be so sweet.
Gosh, can't even say the word. You don't even deserve it.
It's a family show, dude.
This is a family bar. Yeah. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Go Giants! And yeah, we'll
go back home.
Do something. Yeah. Happy Father's Day, guys. See you next week.
See ya.